Hey guys, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Lauren Fedorko, and I'll be your professor this semester for writing for business and the professions. I just want to give you an introductory PowerPoint and just sort of explain how the class will be structured. And then I will have a separate screencast that goes over how Canvas is structured and how we'll be using it. So I just want to go over what you should expect from this class. So one, you should expect the freedom to choose a topic that you're interested in for the big research project that we focus on. The topic itself must be focused around a problem. So you have to think of a problem that exists that you want to research and try to find a solution to. You will stick with this topic for the entire duration of the semester. So you want to make sure that it's interesting, and you want to make sure that you provide enough research to complete your project. The biggest thing here is choosing something that's more local. You don't want to choose something really large and vague like world hunger. That's way too big to solve in a 15 to 20 page research paper. You want to make sure that you're choosing something more manageable, maybe something like homelessness in New Brunswick. That's something that's smaller in scale, and it would probably work a lot better for you. You also don't want to choose a topic that would interfere with the law, just because this paper is not big enough or complex enough to address those issues. So saying things like, or choosing a topic like legalizing marijuana, although that's a valid opinion to have, or to be against, whichever side you have, it just wouldn't work out because it would involve changing laws. So please choose something that's manageable and choose something that's in a small population or community that you're a part of. In addition, there will be a ton of collaboration and partner work. Sometimes we'll work in small groups, we'll discuss, and you'll be conferencing with me frequently. You'll be getting a ton of feedback, whether it's through peer review from your peers or whether it's through conferencing or graded work that I hand back. I just want to make sure you understand what you should expect from this course. You will be doing a ton of research, and I really, really, really mean that. And it's just something I need you to understand going into it. We follow MLA formatting standards, so just make sure that you familiarize yourself with this. And the be-all, end-all of the course is a final paper. It's 15 to 20 pages. It's single-spaced. It's 600 words. It's 12-point font. So just make sure that you're aware of that as well. We work on it throughout the whole semester, and we sort of build on assignments to help you get there. This is the breakdown of the course. This is also listed on the syllabus. The job search assignment is comprised of two parts. You have your resume and your cover letter. That's 10% of your grade. You have the white paper assignment, which is a very small mini proposal of what your final proposal will be. That's 1 to 2 pages. It's 5% of your grade. Your midterm is a smaller version of your final paper. It's 15% of your grade. Your oral presentation is just a verbal presentation of your paper. That's 15% of your grade. Your final paper is half of your grade. And then we have an annotated bibliography, which is 5% of your grade. This class is a lot of work, but I want you to know that I will be available a great deal. I know that you all have very different schedules and you're experiencing different things this summer. So just as long as you're emailing me, giving me multiple times that you're available for office hours, I'm happy to do my best to meet the times that you have available. We'll also be having a library session that I have recorded, and you'll be able to watch that and understand more how you'll be able to research using the tools online. All major assignments must be submitted to pass the course. So you can't do everything and just say, oh, I'm not doing the white paper, it's only 5%. You will fail the course if you don't submit everything. Late assignments will be accepted, but they will not receive credit. And major assignments will not be accepted unless all previous assignments have been submitted. So if you get to the point where you're submitting your midterm, but you still haven't done the white paper assignment, which was first, I'll tell you, I cannot accept your midterm unless you submit that assignment. So please don't get far behind. Your final proposal also must receive a passing grade to pass the course. And just to clarify, the writing program, the lowest passing grade that you can earn is a C. We don't give Ds in the writing program. You can only earn an A, B plus B, C plus C, and then anything below a C is not passing. It's an F. Plagiarism is a major issue, but I just want you to know that we use Turnitin. Every assignment that you submit on Canvas automatically gets turned in to turn it in. And that gives me a report of how much of your paper is plagiarized. So just make sure that you are always citing, even if you're paraphrasing. And if you're using content that's word for word from a source, make sure it's in quotations and make sure you're giving credit where credit is due. I also need you to know that grading for this course is difficult. For your major assignments, your midterm and your final, I grade your papers thoroughly first, and then I actually have a meeting with the director, and the director and I go over each paper specifically, and one of three things can happen. Most of the time, the director says, yes, Lauren, I agree, this paper is a B. Excellent. I've read it. Life is good. Sometimes he will say, you're being a little bit too harsh. Although I see why you think it's a B, I think it should be more of a B plus, and then I'll change the grade. Or he'll say, this is a little bit inflated. It needs to be a C plus, something like that. The reason why this is good is because it doesn't matter what professor you have. Everyone is being graded the same. So there's continuity and there's a sense of fairness amongst all professors. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Just let me know if there's anything that's worrying you. I just want to make sure that you feel comfortable taking the class and that if you have any questions, they are being addressed. I'm just going to transition into the next PowerPoint, and then there will be a second video that you can watch about the structure of the course. So this essentially is going over chapter 1 of the Magrino textbook, which I encourage you to read. I'm just going over it right now just so you can hear me explain it. But the course is built around 6 Ps, and this is how you'll be thinking about your proposals. So I'm just going to go through those and then I'll expand briefly. The first P is the problem. You'll have to define and quantify the problem that you're choosing to fix. The next P is the population. Who does this problem affect? What group of people? The third P is paradigm. Paradigm essentially just means a researched rationale for how you'll fix the problem. Most of you are going to be looking up models of success, different techniques that have worked in fixing the problem elsewhere, or theoretical framework. The fourth P is your plan. So this is your plan of action where you take your different pieces of paradigm, your models of success, your pieces of theory, and you kind of mesh or synthesize them together to create a unique and original plan of your own. Your plan cannot come out of nowhere. It has to come out of your research. The fifth P is your patron. This is the person who's going to fund your project. And this requires a lot of thought. You have to think of someone who has the money to fund your project. And you also have to think of someone who would be interested or feel passionately about your project. Lastly is your price. I'll tell you right now, for your midterm, your price will most likely be foggy, and that's sort of normal. Your price won't really be finalized and detailed until really the end of the semester at your final paper. So you want to think, do you need to hire anybody? Do you need to rent a space? Are there materials that you'll need? All of those things contribute to the price. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to quickly go over these P's in a little bit more detail, and then this video will be over. So you first have to start by identifying a problem, and it says here you might feel the need to urgently come up with a plan, but you cannot. You are just defining that the problem exists. You need to have data that it exists. You need to give examples that it exists, and you need to make sure that you're offering cited information. So quantifying is just proving that it exists, offering proof. You also want to make sure that you have data points on your population, the population that's affected by this problem. So please make sure that you're looking into that as well. Paradigm, remember, it's that research-based rationale. There are 2 parts: 1, models of success, and 2, pieces of theory. So a paradigm is that research-based rationale, and it should respond to the 2 following questions. How do you know that your plan will solve the problem? So there should be sort of certainty and a really intense level of persuasiveness that shows that the paradigm is well researched and that it's appropriate for your population. And then also number 2, why are you solving it this way rather than the other 100 ways that are out there? So you want to make sure you're showing and proving that the way you're solving it is the best way. The bottom line is, and this is really important, as humans, we want to solve things the way that we feel is best, but you need to make sure that you are researching solutions. You can't just pull solutions out of the air and say, oh, this sounds nice. You want to make sure that you've seen the success elsewhere. So if we're sticking with the idea of students not graduating Trenton High School and the graduation rate is at 52%, and you're saying this is a problem, you can't say, oh, tutoring will work unless you have proof that it will actually work for a population like the population you've chosen. You'll eventually come up with a plan of your own, and this is based off of your models of success. So you'll combine or synthesize these models into a unique plan of your own. Your patron, you need to make sure that you're choosing someone wisely. You can't choose someone really broad and vague like the President of the United States or the President of Rutgers. You want to choose someone that's reasonable and someone who has the funding to give. So you want to ask yourself, why would this person be interested in your project proposal? How are they affected by the problem? Would they actually have the funding that you're requiring to help back your plan? Would they be interested in offering you such a large sum of money? And how would they benefit from partnering with you? And like I said, guys, the price is something that develops over the course of time, but you just want to think to yourself, what do I need to make this plan work? And I can help you with that when you get there. But those are the 6 Ps. And the next will be on